Painter. A painter is someone who brings life and beauty to spaces by using color. Painters work with brushes, rollers, and other tools to apply paint to surfaces like walls, doors, ceilings, and even furniture. The job of a painter is important because it makes buildings, homes, and other spaces look clean, fresh, and welcoming. Painters also help protect surfaces by adding a layer of paint that can last for many years. Painters can work in many different environments. Some painters work indoors, painting the inside of homes or offices. Others work outdoors, painting the exterior of buildings, fences, or bridges. A painter's job can involve painting new buildings, but they are also hired to repaint or refresh older ones. Sometimes, painters also work on smaller projects, like painting a single room or a piece of furniture. One of the first steps a painter must do is prepare the surface. This is very important because if the surface is not clean or smooth, the paint will not stick well. Painters clean walls, remove old paint, and fix any cracks or holes before they start painting. They may also use sandpaper to smooth rough areas. Sometimes, they apply a layer of primer, which helps the paint stick better and gives a more even finish. Choosing the right paint is another important part of the job. There are many different types of paint, and each one is used for a specific purpose. For example, some paints are made for outdoor use because they can handle rain and sunlight. Others are meant for indoor use and come in many different colors and finishes, like glossy or matte. Painters need to know which type of paint is best for the job they are doing. Painters also need to mix colors. Some jobs require a specific color that isn't available in a pre-made can. In these cases, painters mix different colors together to create the perfect shade. This requires a good understanding of color theory and a careful hand to get the exact result. A painter must be precise because even a small change in the mix can result in a completely different color. Once the surface is ready and the paint is chosen, the painter begins the actual painting process. Painters use different tools depending on the job. Brushes are used for smaller areas or for details, while rollers are used for larger surfaces like walls or ceilings. Painters need to apply the paint evenly to avoid streaks or patches. Sometimes, they apply more than one coat of paint to make the color look rich and smooth. Safety is a big part of a painter's job, especially when they are working on tall buildings or using ladders. Painters must be careful when working at heights, making sure they use the proper safety equipment like harnesses or scaffolding. They also need to wear protective gear like masks and gloves when working with certain types of paint, especially those that have strong chemicals. In addition, they must protect the area around them by covering floors and furniture with plastic sheets or drop cloths to prevent accidental spills. Painting can be a physically demanding job. Painters spend long hours on their feet and often have to reach high places or work in tight spaces. They may have to climb ladders or carry heavy buckets of paint. Because of this, painters need to be in good physical condition and have good stamina. One of the challenges of being a painter is dealing with different weather conditions. Outdoor painters need to watch the weather closely. Rain or extreme heat can affect the quality of the paint job, so painters sometimes have to reschedule their work. Indoor painters, on the other hand, may have to deal with dust or poor ventilation, especially when working in older buildings. Despite the challenges, many painters find their job rewarding. They get to see the immediate results of their work and know that they are making spaces more beautiful. For some, painting is also a creative outlet. They enjoy working with different colors and techniques to create something unique. In fact, some painters specialize in decorative painting, creating special designs, patterns, or murals on walls. Painters who work on large projects often work in teams. They must communicate well with each other to make sure the job is done efficiently and to a high standard. Teamwork is important, especially when working on big buildings or large-scale projects, as every painter has a role to play in completing the task. The job of a painter also requires good time management. Painters often work on a deadline, so they need to plan their time carefully to finish the job on schedule. Sometimes they have to manage multiple projects at once. In these cases, painters must prioritize their tasks and make sure everything is completed on time without sacrificing quality. Painters also need to be good at customer service. Many painters work for homeowners or business owners, and it's important to listen to the customer's needs and preferences. A painter must make sure the client is happy with the result. This means paying attention to details, like making sure the lines are straight and the colors match exactly. In terms of career opportunities, painters can work for painting companies, construction firms, or as independent contractors. Some painters choose to start their own business and hire other painters to work for them. This allows them to take on larger projects and grow their reputation in the community. There are also opportunities for painters to specialize in certain areas. For example, some painters focus on industrial painting, which involves painting large structures like bridges or factories. Others may specialize in residential painting, working mostly in people's homes. There are also artists who work as painters, creating murals or other works of art on walls and buildings. In conclusion, the job of a painter is both practical and creative. Painters bring color and beauty to the world, making spaces more enjoyable and protecting surfaces from damage. It's a job that requires physical strength, attention to detail, and a good understanding of color and technique. For those who enjoy working with their hands and seeing the immediate results of their work, being a painter can be a fulfilling career. Whether working on a small room or a large building, painters have the satisfaction of knowing that they've made the world a little brighter.